I suppose, first of all, Ministers, I'm disappointed with your speeches tonight. I think you haven't captured the mood in the country. You certainly haven't captured, I think, the mood of the view of people in this chamber right across the House, all sides of the House. I think one of the first things we need to do is, we don't want to hear that as a small country we can't do this. I think what people want to do here tonight is to hear what we can do. And we want to hear from yourselves, Minister, before the end of this debate. I also think that one of the most positive things that we can actually bring to this debate is the generosity of the Irish people. And it's clearly out there. One speaker talked in terms, and I got the same information, that there was a huge outpouring of support from Irish people that wanted to open up their homes to Syrian children after the death of a young child. And I think that feeling is still there right across the country, and in fact I think it's grown, and I don't think we reflected that. I'm conscious that tonight in the public gallery that their volunteers have done amazing work in assisting destitute children and human beings in Calais. And I've never met Karen Moynihan of the Youth Refugee Service in Calais, but what I've heard, she's a phenomenal person doing priceless day-to-day work to assist hundreds of children, vulnerable children, in that camp. And Ireland is in such a unique and opportune position that we have such amazing volunteers who now have biographical files and build trusting relationships with many of these children. So we're in a perfect position to take a small proportion of these children and to help reshape and bring hope back into their lives. And the big positive, as I say, is that this House wants to get this done. We know that over 800 people contacted the Irish Red Cross, so let's act on that. Minister, there's no legal impediment to relocating these children, and there's no shortage of public and political support for it. So those excuses are worn out and not credible. It's time for action. And can you imagine, just for 1 second, the journey those children and the experiences that they went through coming to Europe? Can you imagine what they've seen and experienced on that journey? So the children are very aware of what's being said about them. They're being told, and they're listening to the media and listening to social media. They're being labelled as a threat, a burden, and something to be afraid of. Why can't we be the first country to say, you're wanted, you're welcome, there's room for you here on our shores? So that's the message, Minister. It's quite simple. It's coming from the heart. You only have to listen to some of the stories of what's happening in Calais, and you want a heart of stone not to be moved. So it's not about in 16 months and 12 months down the line that we want to see action. We want to see it happening now, and that's what this debate is about. It's action happening now.
Thank you very much, Deputy.